Hello, good morning, children. Welcome to 7th Standard Science class, Biology, Chapter 2, Nutrition in Living Organisms, Animals and Man, Part 3. Children, in previous class, that is in Part 2, we discussed about nutrition in humans. In that, we seen the sequence of steps involved in the digestion process, right? They are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. And at the end, we discussed about functions of mouth and buccal cavity. Right? If anyone didn't watch the part 1 and part 2, my kind request you to watch it first. Okay? In today's session, I will continue functions of the different parts of digestive system. We already learnt about the first part in the digestive system, that is mouth, right? Let us see functions of other parts in digestive system such as tongue, food pipe or esophagus, the stomach, small intestine and large intestine. First, we will learn about human tongue. You already know about human tongue, right? Children, here tongue is one of the strongest muscles in the human body. And not only that, the tongue is a special thing that helps you swallow, eat as well as taste food. And not only that, it helps you in talking as well. Yes, it helps in talking. You don't believe me? You just try to talk without using tongue. Is it possible? No, right? Got it. That's why tongue is a true all-rounder. And you know where the tongue is present? It is present in our mouth. Tongue is a muscular organ. Our tongue is extremely movable at its front end where it can move in all direction. And it is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity. Children, you know how tongue help us to taste the food? Well, it is because the surface of the tongue covered with the senses known as a taste buds. Understood? Here, the surface of the tongue covered with the senses. These are the senses and these senses are known as taste buds. There are about 3000 to 10,000 taste buds present on our tongue. And you know, these taste buds help us to taste the food. And taste buds are not visible to us, okay? Children, here taste buds are mainly classified into 4 types. Here you see the taste buds which are present on our tongue is going to sense the different taste. Based on that, taste buds are mainly classified into 4 types which help us to know about different taste such as sweet, sour, bitter and salty taste associated with different types of items in our food. Here you see different parts of the tongue going to taste the different taste. This part is going to taste the sweet and this part is going to taste the salt and this part is going to taste the sour and this part is there now is going to taste bitter. Understood? So we have different parts on tongue. They are going to sense the different taste. That's why taste buds are classified mainly 4 types which help us to know about sweet, sour, bitter and salt taste associated with different types of items in our food. To remember this, here I prepared some color code chart. Here you see I prepared a color code picture. By just seeing this color code picture, you can remember easily. Here see this pink color of this front side of this tongue is going to taste the sweet and this part is going to taste the salt and this part is going to taste sour and this part is going to taste bitter. Understood? Just remember this color code and this parts, so it is very important. Understood? So we have mainly 4 taste buds which are going to taste salt, sweet, sour and bitter. Got it? Children, tongue also helps you eat by helping you to move food around the mouth while you chewing the food. Your tongue pushes the food to your back teeth so that teeth can grind it well. Here, tongue also helps in mixing up of saliva with food. Here you getting doubt, right? From where saliva came from? Well, salivary glands which are present in our mouth releases saliva. Here, saliva is an essential component of the digestive process because it moistens the food for easy swallowing. That's why here saliva is one of the important component of the digestive process. You will learn more about saliva in higher classes. Understood? Children, after chewing the food in mouth, where it goes, you know? Yes, it travels into the esophagus or food pipe. We already know that the first process of digestion of food takes place in the mouth. Means the food is chewed in the mouth. The next immediate junction for the digestion is in the stomach. Understood? After digestion in mouth, the next immediate junction for digestion, it is in the stomach. And these two important parts are connected by a long, narrow and muscular tube called food pipe or esophagus. Understood? That connects both buccal cavity or mouth to the stomach. Children, have you any idea how this esophagus participate in the digestion? Well, you will be surprised to know that this part of the alimentary canal does not help in digestion anyway. Yes, this narrow muscular tube has no role to play in the digestion process. So, if not digestion, then what function it performs? Simply, it serves as a passage for food. Yes, the food that has been chewed in the mouth is pushed downward into the esophagus. From here onwards, the movement of food is due to the movement of the muscles present in the walls of the esophagus. Understood? Here, can I ask you one question? Okay. Does the food from the mouth travel straight down the line? The answer is not really. The process is not straight and simple. Here, walls of the esophagus contract and relax alternatively, allowing the soft food to pass down to the stomach. See here, this is the yellow color is then it is a food. When it travels into the esophagus, here see the walls of the esophagus get contracted, right? And when it travels down, here it comes down, then this part of the esophagus get relaxed. Like this, the walls of the esophagus contract and relax alternatively, allowing the soft food to pass down into the stomach. Understood? Now, the next part of the digestive system is stomach. Before going to start the stomach, children, have you heard about epiglottis? Well, children, you know esophagus, that is food pipe, and windpipe are two separate tubes which are present in our body. The esophagus runs behind the windpipe. Here you see the esophagus runs behind the windpipe. Both of these tubes starts at the throat. The food we eat travels down the esophagus into the stomach. The air you breathe travels down to the windpipe into the lungs. Understood? We have two separate pipes for food and air. Got it? Now, let me ask you an interesting question that is there any chance to enter the food into the lungs? The answer is no. Because here one of the important part present at the top of the windpipe, that is epiglottis. Here epiglottis is a flap-like structure present at the top of the windpipe. It closes the windpipe when we swallow food and prevent the food from entering our lungs. Understood? Here who play important role? Epiglottis. Epiglottis, how it helps? It closes the windpipe when we swallow food and prevents the food from entering our lungs. Understood? Now, the next part in our digestive system is stomach. What happens when the food reaches the stomach? Let's find it out, okay? Children, stomach is the widest part of the alimentary canal. Which is the widest part in alimentary canal? It is stomach. It is a thick-walled sac-like muscular organ where most of the digestion takes place. Children, as we already discussed that the first process of digestion of food takes place in mouth, right? And next process of digestion of food takes place in stomach. Stomach receives food from the esophagus. After receiving food, stomach helps in both mechanical and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion of food is headed by churning process. This happens when muscles in the walls of the stomach contract and help in churning the food within. And how does the chemical digestion occur? Here, the inner lining of the stomach secretes gastric juice. It's mainly consisting of three major components, that is hydrochloric acid, mucus and enzymes. In chemical process, the inner lining of the stomach secretes or release gastric juice, and this gastric juice consisting of major three components, that is hydrochloric acid, mucus and enzymes. Let us see the function of each one. Okay. First we will see about hydrochloric acid. Here hydrochloric acid takes care of two things. Firstly, it kills all the harmful bacteria and microbes in the food. Understood? And secondly, it provides the acidic medium needed for digestion of food by the enzymes. Understood? What are the two main functions of hydrochloric acid? First of all, it kills the harmful bacteria and microbes in the food. And secondly, it provides acidic medium needed for the digestion of food by the enzymes in the stomach. Now, tell me one thing. If there is a layer of acid secreted or released by a stomach, won't the inner lining of the cells get damaged? Right or no? Here acid is present means you're thinking that the inner lining of the stomach get damaged, right? No, because here the important function of this mucus. Here the mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach from the acid. Understood? That's why here there is no damage for inner lining of the stomach. Here the mucus is going to protect the inner lining of stomach. And next, the enzymes in the stomach break down proteins into simpler substances like amino acid. Understood? So these are the functions of hydrochloric acid, mucus and enzymes which are present in gastric juice, and this gastric juice is released or secreted by inner lining of the stomach. Understood? So it's the stomach where the food gets churned thoroughly and is mixed with the gastric juice to digest efficiently. Understood? Children, are you getting bored? Okay then, I will tell you one story. The story name is Stomach with a Hole. In this story only, doctors came to know how exactly stomach works. On June 6, 1822, a person named Saint Martin was accidentally shot in the stomach. The wound was severe and everyone expected he would die, but he didn't. A local US Army doctor kept him alive. Dr. Beaumont was called to treat him. Doctor treated his wound, and after 1.5 years, doctor found that the Martin wound had healed. Despite his best effort, doctor could not close the hole in his stomach that never fully healed. But doctor recognized that he had a chance to observe digestive process. So doctor began to perform experiments on digestion in the stomach of Saint Martin. You know how doctor did experiment? It's very interesting. Doctor did experiments, most of these experiments by tying a piece of food to a string. Here, how doctor conducted experiments, he just tied a piece of food to a string, okay, and inserted into the Martin stomach. Here you see, okay, he inserted into the Martin stomach through this hole. For every few hours, doctor would remove the food and he observed how well it had been digested. Doctor also extracted a sample of gastric acid from Martin's stomach for analysis, like no one has done before. And he also used this sample of gastric acid to digest outside. For this, he taken bits of food in a cup. So for what he did, he just turned a bits of food in a cup. Okay, in that he added extracted gastric acid. Then what doctor observed, The food which kept in cup gets digested due to gastric acid. This leads to the important discovery that stomach acid helps to digest the food into a simple and soluble that stomach can use. From this, it is realized that digestion is primarily a chemical process and not a mechanical one.